Shalom. Before I get started, as always, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone while learning this truth. Peace and blessings and salutations to the elect out there scattered abroad, pushing this truth on the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and freedom to do so. It's the brother Tazamak coming back with a quick lesson. I'm going to call this lesson, The King Made 2 Calves of Gold. Okay. And I'm going to be going into, the idol worship that was taking place, back in the ancient world. And it's also idol worship taking place in this current rulership. Okay. And it's mass. It's not just a little here and a little there. Our people especially are head first in Jesus Christ, Muslim. I hear that a lot. Seventh-day Adventist, Buddha, you name it. They're into everything besides the truth. And me getting older, I notice our people trying to cling on to something when they get older, like a spiritual belief, and it's always some BS. They don't ever want to hear the truth. They can cling on to Jesus Christ and all these other deities or all these other false gods. And that's what I meant to say. And it leaves them empty because they're still wicked. They're still the same people that they were when they walked through those church doors. Okay? Back then you had, different idols and different gods. Now the main one is Jesus Christ, which is BS. Okay, it's a false god. It's not real. Caesar Borgia. Okay? But she was a Fruit Loop. Alright? They would never give us our true power. This was done by the way of the Spirit. They paid billions, if not trillions of dollars. I think it was billions for the Bible Destruction Group to try to move everything around so we couldn't get this knowledge. Okay, but the Spirit is always going to prevail. Okay, over anything. All right. I'm going to start off. I'm going to get some precepts. Lord's will, this is an edifying lesson. And before I get this precept, it's just sad to see the state of our people. Okay, the elder in South Carolina, Elder Manana Zakba, did a lesson, and he went to like his old childhood home, and he was saying like, damn, it's a shame that my family still holds on to these idols. They still had the picture of Jesus Christ in the house and the cross and all that. And it's like the same scenario in my house, at my old house, not my house now, but my house I grew up with. You got idols everywhere. My grandma's house, idols everywhere. I remember she used to have some creepy idols, like clowns. Creepy shit. A picture of somebody not even walking on water, doing some weird stuff. And if you make a mention about it, yes, grandson, you need to worship him. You need to worship him. And I've been in the truth a few years, but I was lost until I found Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. I was lost. Okay. But by the way, the Spirit, it revealed that this was the truth. This is the true power. Okay. So I'm going to start off in the book of Matthew 6 and 24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one, and this is Yahweh Shai speaking, and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve Yahweh and Mammon, which is the god of money. Okay? You cannot serve the Most High and Mammon. Okay? The majority of our people in today's world, they worship money. Okay? They worship money because it can get you everything around you, live a good life, the fast life, women, cars, clothing. Okay, you name it. Drugs. A lot of people are into that. Alcohol, to take their mind off the reality that their life ain't crap. Okay? Richest prophet not in the day of wrath. Okay? Richest prophet not in the day of wrath. Everybody puts everything first but Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Those gods you guys worship are not real. Newsflash. Okay, these people are going to be in a sad and dreadful case when the Lord makes his return. All right? Get this next. In the book of Deuteronomy. Chapter 6, and I'm going to start at verse 14. Ye should not go after other gods, of the gods of the people, which are round about you. Okay, it's talking about the heathens. Okay, we are not to do what they do. We're set apart for a reason. In the book of Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, it says we are a special people. You going down doing that, you take yourself out of the equation. Because the Lord is not going to recognize you on this side. Worshiping other gods, the Lord's going to destroy you. You got to come back, like it says in Ezekiel, when it says the 36th chapter, that you should behold your own wicked ways, man. You're going to be ashamed in the kingdom. Okay? For your idol worship, which is off. It says, for Yahweh thy power is a jealous power among you, lest the anger of Yahweh thy power be kindled. Okay? It says Yahweh is a jealous power. He requires exclusive loyalty. Okay? It says, lest the anger of Yahweh thy power be kindled against thee, and destroy thee from off the face of the earth. Okay, that's what's getting ready to happen to the wicked of our people, the wicked heathen that's in Babylon. Okay, they'll get burned up. Okay, the rebels of our people, we're going to get them as well. All right, but that's getting ready to take place. All right, Jake just keep digging themselves in a deeper and deeper grave, man. And the Lord, ultimately, that last plague is on nuclear missiles that the Lord is going to use to wipe Jake off, you know? And it's not going to be permanent. The two-thirds are going to be wiped off. The 1/3 is still going to remain. You know, the believers, and the top of that being 144,000, okay? So the 1/3 is still going to remain, and the 2/3 are going to be destroyed in the rebels. And they're going to be brought back through the 1/3 in the kingdom. Okay, they're going to be back in the right mind. Then they're going to get praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. They're not going to get it right on this side. It's prophecy that they won't. Scripture said that 2/3 have to be cut off in his land thereof. All right? I'm going to get this next in the book of 1 Kings, the 12th chapter. I'm going to start at verse 26. Get to the point. And Jeroboam said in his heart, now shall the kingdom return to the house of David. If this people go up to sacrifice in the house of Yahweh at Jerusalem, then shall the heart of this people turn again unto the Lord, even to Rehoboam, king of Judah. And they shall kill me and go again to Rehoboam, king of Judah. So Jeroboam was scared that the northern tribe, when it was their time to go, sacrifice unto the Lord, that it's Salaki if I slip with the tongue. Jeroboam had the northern tribes. Jeroboam had the northern tribes, and Rehoboam kept the southern. Okay, but Jeroboam was nervous that if the northern tribes went back to Jerusalem to sacrifice unto the Heavenly Father, that their hearts would be turned back to Rehoboam. Okay, and he was scared that he would get killed in the process, because Rehoboam and Jeroboam, they were warned. They were going against each other. Okay. Verse 28. Whereupon the king took counsel and made 2 calves of gold, and said unto them, it is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem. See, what he was doing was wicked. He made 2 idols. Behold thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. Okay, so he was saying it's easier for you to stay here, okay, and worship the 2 golden calves that I created than to go all the way to Jerusalem, because they were in Dan and Bethel. Okay? Which Dan was a further journey than Bethel. All right, but he said it's more convenient for you to just stay here. He was deceiving them. It's more convenient for you to stay here and worship these gods, which the fact that they fell for was wicked. Okay, and he said that brought thee up out of the land of Egypt, saying the same thing that Aaron said in Deuteronomy, the 32nd chapter. All right. Verse 29, and he said the one in Bethel, and the other he put in Dan. You see? Put them in Bethel and in Dan, where they were at. So it was convenient. They could just come out and do their thing. They didn't have to travel all the way to Jerusalem. And this thing became a sin. You see, it's transgression of the law to worship other gods. For the people went to worship before the one, even unto Dan. So they started worshiping these gods. Okay? They started worshiping these gods, traveling to Bethel and Dan to do it, instead of going to Jerusalem. Okay? Which is off completely. All right? I'm going to get this next. It's the book of Amos 8. And those same wicked spirits that were worshiping those gods, man, they're back. Nothing new under the sun. Okay? This is Amos 8:14. They that swear by the sin of Samaria, and say that thy God, O Dan, liveth, and the manner of Beersheba liveth. Even they shall fall and never rise up again. These people that are believing in these false gods, which, you had ancient gods, but now you have, present gods that are false gods. Okay? False idols. All right? But when the Lord comes back, the Lord's going to put all those down. And everybody on the planet Earth is going to know that there's only one power. His name is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, not this other crap that our people are involved in, man. There's only one power. His name is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay? And they're never going to rise again. Those guys that fall, they're never going to rise again. Okay? I'm going to get ready to close with this. Go to the book of Tobit. 14. To 6. And all the nations shall turn and fear the Lord Yahweh. Truly, and shall bury their idols. You see how that's similar to Amos 8:14? Those other idols are going to be done away with. All the nations, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the nations are going to turn and fear Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, the Lord's going to do away with the idols. Okay? And that's going to be a glorious day, man. That's going to be a glorious day. The Lord's going to make his name known by the judgment he brings out here. Okay? Also by the miracles that he does, because we're going to be doing miraculous things. A false idol is not going to give you spiritual power. Sorry to break it to you. Okay? When you read the stories about the miracles that happened and the power that the Lord gave his men, look at the miraculous things that King David was doing, the mighty men. Okay? Which they got fame from it. So the Lord's going to raise us up as well. But it's not coming from a false God. It's coming from the true power, which is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, this was an edifying lesson with that. I'm going to say shalom.